cousins, how are you guys doing? It's your girl Angela. I'm back in the kitchen today, honey. So listen, I had a request for a green bean recipe. I actually have two different recipes that I use, two different ways, should I say, that I cook my recipes. Sometime I use the canned green beans, and sometime I use fresh green beans. Today we're going to use canned green beans. So I'm going to show you how you can take canned green beans and make them taste so delicious as if they were fresh green beans. Now, I don't use the green beans. You know, they come in a can of water. Those are the green beans out of the field. They put them in a can, that dirty water. Those beans are dirty. So what I like to do, first of all, is to wash the top of my cans with hot soapy water and then dry them off with fresh, clean paper towels. Then I take the green beans and I open them up, pour them into my colander, and I go through them and get the ones out of them and pick the ones out of there with the long stems and get rid of them. And then I thoroughly wash them with lukewarm water, just plain lukewarm water running through them while they're in my colander, sitting in the sink. Make sure your kitchen is nice and clean. Make sure your sink is nice and clean. So we're going to get to the party, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do, how I do it when I cook my green beans, how I make them taste so delicious. So let cousin come up. Oh, also, I have a 10-quart pot, okay? I'm going to be using this pot to cook my green beans, okay? That's what I'm going to be using. This is the Food Network pot. They're not a sponsor. It's just a pot that I'm using today. So let me put this on the stove. If you hear some noise in the background, it's because I have my fan on above my stove. So Cousin Angela is going to show you all exactly how I cook my green beans, whether I'm using fresh green beans, whether I'm using canned green beans. But like I said today, we're using canned green beans. Don't go robbing the store. I went to Kroger's. I got what was on sale. All right. Let cousin Andy bring the children on home to the party. All right. Here we go. Let me bring you all down, show you what we're doing. Here we go. Sorry about the noise with my camera. Okay, I'm gonna turn it that way. Here we go. Hope you guys can see that good. All right, so I have half of a white onion, nicely chopped and diced real fine. Okay, I have a bag of low sodium bacon. Now, what I like to do is take about 4 strips of the low sodium bacon and cut it up into bite-sized pieces. And I like to go ahead and let those fry in my pan for, excuse me, 1 minute. Let me adjust this camera. There we go. I like to take my kitchen shears and cut the bacon and, pull it out in strips, but then cut it in bite-sized pieces. Okay, sorry about that. So once I get all my bacon cut up in the bite-sized pieces, I put them in my cooking pot and go ahead and fry them to get that meat grease. Once the bacon is fried, I pull them out, put them on a little saucer with a piece of paper towel, and then at that time, I go ahead and put my onions in. But today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my bacon in, and once it becomes brown, we're going to go ahead and add our onions in there and let them become translucent. Once they become translucent, then what we'll do is pull the goodies out, leave the oil in the pan, go back and add our green beans. I'm going to put just a teaspoon of seasoning salt in there, and of course the ground black pepper. Okay, now many people put a fresh garlic clove in there. It'll give it some good old flavor. Just mince it up really well, honey. Give them vegetables a good flavor. And then here is my teaspoon. Here it is right here. So I'll be using that measurement spoon. I also have a 2-pound box here of chicken broth. You want something with flavor, perhaps chicken broth. The best way to go when you're cooking vegetables. If you don't have any chicken broth, go ahead and get you some fresh running water out the sink. But you need to cook your vegetables in something that's going to enhance and give it great flavor. I always like to use chicken broth. If I don't have it, then yes, I'll use fresh water. Okay, so first things first, we have half of a white onion, like I said, nicely diced and chopped very finely. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get us about 4 slices of bacon out of here, and I'm going to cut it up, and I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. I'll be right back. All right, here we go. So I'm going to open this bacon, all right, and I'm just going to start by just cutting it right here. Why am I doing that? I can just use my kitchen shears. So I'm going to cut across, And what I like to do once I open my bacon, any unused portions, get you a nice clean bag. Remember, I put your trash in it. What I like to do for any unused portions of my bacon, I like to take it and put it in a Ziploc storage bag and place it in my refrigerator. Or if I'm not going to use it anytime soon, I just put it in that Ziploc storage bag and I put it back in the freezer. And then thaw bacon whenever I need it. You'll have that bacon in your freezer. All right. So first things first, I'm going to pull this out and I'm going to show you how I cut my bacon. And then after that, get us a couple of slices here. So these are thin. So I'm going to pull out 6 slices today. Uh-oh. Didn't know they were going to come like this in the pack, Lord. All right. So see how it's coming out? All right. So let me show you. Cousin Angie going to show you how she does her bacon. So we're going to take this bacon. And I'm using the KitchenAid shears. We can see that. All right. So I'm just going to cut it like this. Just like that. Bite-sized pieces. And you're just going to go ahead and let this come up in this brown. And I'm going to set my stove. I have an electric stove. I'm going to set it on to like a number 5. So medium heat. All right. You just want to cut it up finely. And I can actually cut it down the middle here. See how I did that? All right. And these are going to be they're going to be very seasoned, very well tasting green beans. You're going to love them. Okay. See how we have that here? And I actually can use a few more pieces because these are sliced very thinly. So I have here 3 more pieces. Okay. So we're going to stop with just that right there. So again, I'm going to cut down the middle. And just cut them in bite-sized pieces like this. Okay. An easier way to do this. Quick and easy. And it's going to have you some good old tasting green beans. Get this piece. See how these are long? Just cut them. All right. And that part right here that I'm cutting with the fat is going to give us some good old nice seasoning here of the fat from the bacon once it renders down and cooked. So that's why we're only going to use a small portion of seasoning when we get ready to season our green beans, because the bacon already has salt in it, even though it's low sodium. You don't want to go too heavy on salt or seasoning salt or whatever, because, you know, first of all, my husband has congestive heart failure. We both have hypertension. So in taking blood pressure pills, so you have to be careful of how much sodium you use. Okay, so let me wash my hands and then we're going to meet back at the stove. All right, cousins, so we're here at my stove. I've got my pot nice and hot. I've got it set on to a 4.5 medium heat. So what we're going to do is take the bacon that I cut up in bite-sized pieces. And what we're going to do is go ahead and brown that bacon and get some of that nice bacon grease going so that we can use that bacon grease for our green beans. Okay, so let me bring you over here to the stove. All right. So let me pour you down into the pot so you all can get up in that pot. That's going to be Cousin Angie's new thing. Get y'all up in that pot. All right. So have the bacon here. Cut up. Make sure y'all can see what I'm doing. All right. So we in that pot. I washed my hands because I didn't want to touch anything until I wash my hands. So I'll get that clean and go in the dishwasher. So right now what we're going to do is just let this bacon go ahead and get happy and do his thing in here. And then once this bacon browns all the way through and we get that nice bacon grease going, then we'll go at that point. Now I'm not going to add my chopped finely onion. I'm not going to do that until the bacon becomes done because I don't want the onion to cook and overcook and burn. Okay, so I just want to get this going. And as Emerald Lagasse used to say, we're going to let this bacon get happy over in this pan, okay? So, shouldn't take us about 7 or 8 minutes to get this nice and brown and crispy. All right? So, I'll be back in a few minutes. All right, cousins. So, our green beans are completely done. I actually cooked them for at least about 40 minutes. But they're completely done. I want you to see them. And then once I remove them from the pot, I'm going to put them in our serving dish. And then I'll show you the next step. Okay? Let me show you here. And bring you on down to the pot. Oh, bring it up just a little. Here we go. But make sure you all get on over that pot. All right? Cool. So I turn my stove off. This metal is hot. All right? Nice and done, and it smells so good. And these were so easy to do, and it tastes so great. You got that seasoning rendering through the beans from the low sodium bacon and the sauteed onions, and of course the seasonings for the black pepper and the teaspoon of seasoning salt. Like I said, you don't need a lot of seasonings to go in there because we already have a lot going on from the bacon. All right, so I'll see you all back over. So, all right, cousins. So our green bean hack is now done. I showed you how you can take a can of green beans and cook them and make them taste just like fresh green beans. Very simple, easy, and to the point. All right. So they're done. They're nice and hot. I don't want to burn my hand. These things are smoking hot. You see the bacon fat in there. You see them there and their fresh juices. All right. It smells so great in here. My daughter just said, Mama, it smells so good in here. So I want you to give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think about this video. If you tried this simple hack using green beans in a can, please come back and let me know what you think about this hack demonstration here. And I would love to hear from you. All right. Okay. So thank you all for supporting me. Let me turn you back around over here. Thank you all for supporting me. I appreciate all your love and your support here on my platform. Please do me a favor and share this video. Share my page with your fans. Your friends, your family, your coworkers, your loved ones, please. And like I said, if you make this recipe, come back, leave me a picture or leave me a comment. I'd love to hear back from you. All right. Have a great day and happy holidays.